Today is the 24th of September 2024. Okay, and we are going to continue our work on graphs, quadratic graphs, manipulation, and will be our 8th video. Okay, this will be our 8th video. Okay, so thank you to all my subscribers. Okay, thank you very much. Please watch the last video for recap. We look at this equation y equals x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, and then we use this the parabola which open upwards to solve the equation. Okay, I showed you how to do it, so go and have a look. It will help you a lot. We are going to look at a similar question. These questions, most of the time, they normally come. So if you learn how to do it, it will help you a lot, especially if you want to further your maths learning. It will help you a lot because as you go ahead, they add a bit more to make it complicated. But if you understand these concepts, then it doesn't matter how they manipulate it, you'll be able to solve it, or which kind of graph they give you. Okay, because if they give you the graph and you can plot it and you can manipulate it to draw the second one, then you can find a solution from your graph. You don't need to calculate. Our starter today will be on sets mental maths. Because of the break, I haven't done, but today I guess brought only 2. Okay, 12 root 3 times 4 root 3 divided by 2 root 3. Okay, so this will be our numerator, which I have written, and 2 root 3 will be our denominator. Okay, we said we don't want to have sets as the denominator. Okay, so first of all, we'll get rid of this root 3 and root 3. 1 root 3 denominator, 1 root 3 numerator is off. Okay, now there is a 4 here and there is a 2 here. So 2 and 4, these 2 will cancel this 4, will be left with 2. 2 times 12 will be 24 root 3. So that is the answer we've got. Now the second one, because there's graph work, I've just tried to limit it. Even though I did this for the next video that I couldn't present, I still had to go through to make sure that everything is accurate. But as I'm talking you through the solution, okay, I'll still be watching out if there's any mistakes. If there's any mistakes, we'll correct it and move on. Okay, now 3 root 8 times 3 root 12 divided by 3 root 48. Okay, now this 48 can be written as 12 times 4. So instead of root 48, I'll write root 12 times root 4. So the root 12 will cancel this root 12 here. Root 8 can be written as 4 times 2. So this 4 also will cancel root 8. But this 3 can cancel this 3. So if we rewrite it, we'll have 8 root 12 will cancel. Okay, this 3 has already cancelled out here. Okay, so we now have root 4 is cancelling root 4 here. So we have 3 root 2 as our answer. Please go and have a look. We've been doing this. We have a whole series on sets. You can go and have a look. Okay, it will help you. Okay, now today we'll do more graph work. Okay, so draw a table for the values of x from -3 to 4. So our interval is -3 to 12. For the equation 3x squared minus 6. So as we normally do, we put in the x, we look at the equation, we find x squared, then we do 3x squared, which is the next one, minus 6 throughout. So now I need 3x minus 6. So for each column, 3x minus 6. So when x is minus 3, y is 21. Minus 2, y is 6. Minus 1. I'm showing you the table so you can go and look at it and do it yourself. -1 minus 3. 0 minus 6. 1 minus 3. 2, 6. 3, 21. 4 and 42. Okay, so you write the x and y coordinates out, which I have done here after this thing. So if I take it up a bit, these are the coordinates we need to plot. But if you look at the y values, so on your x-axis you have 21 up to 42. Okay, so on the positive y, you should have 42. And then on the y-axis, you have -3 to 4. Okay, so if you're plotting the graph, you have to have this in your mind. You give a title. So this quadratic graph opened upwards because of the 3, the positive 3 here. Assuming you had 6 minus 3x squared, then it's going to open downwards. Okay, I keep on saying this because some people have positive x squared and then they draw it and it's downwards in the SN. Maybe your coordinates are wrong. So if you know these things, then immediately you see this, you know you are expecting a graph opening upwards. Okay, watch previous videos if you are new to the platform. It will help you a lot. Okay, it starts from symbols, simple stuff that even a year 6 person can understand. And I intentionally did it that way, okay, because some people have gone out of education for long. So if you've gone out of education for long and you're going back in to reset, at times if you might have a family, it will be difficult. And even those people who have just left education and they are resetting, some people haven't grabbed it. So what I've done there, a year 6 or 5 the few earlier videos, a smart year 6 or 5 can understand that. So if you start from that level, you will build up and build up and build up. So at some point, the topics, that's why I keep on, like this graph work, I could have just done one and stop. But I keep on doing different types so that you understand, so that when you look at it, and then uh, if you are in year 11, you are going to do questions, exams next year. It's better you start getting confident with the questions. Okay, get a question like today's, solve, watch the video, solve. If you don't understand, go back and watch the video. Make sure you're able to solve it. That's the only way you can solve these questions under exam conditions. Okay, so I'm super clear on that. And as I keep on reminding you, this platform is a cheap platform. So that's why I keep on chipping in these things. Okay, so a graph of x squared, 3x squared minus 6. So we've done the table, which I've shown you. I've written out the coordinate. Okay, at my y axis, I've labeled it up to 44 equal intervals. Okay, I don't need a lot for the negative side, so I didn't do a lot there. I just left it to up to minus 6. On the x-axis, I've used the interval they gave me. So I'm going to plot the coordinates. So minus 3 here, and then 21 there. Okay, there. So I plot all the coordinates, and this is the graph I get. Okay, so if you have a look, that is my parabola. It opens upwards. Okay, you can go and do that by yourself. There. Okay, we know how to plot, we know how to get the coordinates. Okay, I assume I'm talking to some higher students now. Okay, because most foundation students wouldn't want to engage with this. But if you're a higher student and you've been following the platform, then you should understand. Okay, yeah. And then that is my x here, my x-axis. And that's my y-axis here. And that's my origin. And that is the title. Hey, okay. Now, so now we've looked at the graph. We've plotted a graph. So I've shown you the graph. I've plotted it. You can also go and plot it. Using the graph drawn, write the solution of 3x squared minus 6 equals 0. So the solution from the graph is where it cuts the x-axis. So x is minus 1.4 and 1.4. So I'll show you that. So this is the x-axis. Okay, that is the x-axis there. Okay, and then on this line, y equals 0. So that is here minus 1.4, and that is 1.4. Okay, if you get the graph right, you can't go wrong. You can actually score all the marks. And even though I'm teaching you for future and for those who want to take maths seriously and go higher, I'm still teaching you, because at the end of the day, if you don't pass your GCSE, you can't do your A levels, and your ambition of taking it higher will not materialize. Okay, so at the end of the day, even though I'm presenting you the videos, I'm also trying to show you how to get the full mark so they can get a higher grade and move ahead. Okay, so now we've done that from the graph. I've just shown you on the x-axis. Okay, so we've solved this one. Okay, we've solved this equation. Draw a linear graph and write the solution 3x and write down the solution. So look at it. We've just drawn 3x squared minus 6. This is what is missing. So if I take 5x to the other side of the equation, I'll have 3x squared minus 6, okay, equals 5x. That one, if I equate it to 0. Now we've already drawn this one. So we need to draw a graph of y equals 5x. Impose it on the graph we have. And then where the cuts is where the solution is. Okay, as we saw yesterday with the y equals x minus 2. Okay, so this is straight. You can draw a table, or you can just say when x is 0, y is 0. Okay, because 5 times 0 is 0. So it will go through the origin. Okay, so when y is 0, x will be 0. When x is 1, y is 5. So another coordinate is 1, 5. When x is 2, y is 10. So 2, 10. So you go on the graph work that you did. Okay, the parabola that you do. That's why after reading the whole question, I did a graph of y equals 3x squared minus 6 and y equals 5x. Okay, so 5x will be a straight line graph going through the origin. So this is it. So the point I've just shown you, I've just plotted it. So this intersection here and that intersection here is where that equation, this new equation, y is 3x squared, please, is 3x squared, okay, minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, and when you look at the graph, which I'll show you, x will be minus 0.8 and 2.4. So if you look at here, the line cut here, okay, which x will be minus about 0.8 here. And then here also, x will be 2.4 about here. So if you look at it, okay, if they are marking, if you use a computer, you get it exactly accurate. Okay, because if the computer is drawing the curve, it won't be faded. It will be smooth. Sorry. And if you use a quadratic equation, you get it accurate. But because you're using the graph, x equals 1 x equals minus 0.8 and 2.4. Okay, when you use this new quadratic graph, which you have to manipulate 3x squared minus 6, and then y equals 5x. Draw these two graphs, find the intersection. So if you do it properly, then you should be getting about that. But they'll still give you some intervals to leave your answer. Okay, so if it is minus 0.8 and you get minus 1.2, it's gone too far. And if the answer is 2.4 and you get like 3, too far. Or you get like 1.8, it's too far from the answer, so you might not get. But if you have a margin of maybe 0.1 to around 0.5, they will give you the answer. They will mark it right. Okay, so this is a bit similar to what we did yesterday. Just a little bit manipulation. You can draw a parabola. You don't need to draw this second parabola and then find the answer. All you need to do is to manipulate it such that you now draw a line y equals 5x. Okay, impose it on your first curve like that. Okay, so this is what a graph will look like. Okay, I'll show you. Go and get a graph paper and draw your line, and you see how easy it is. Don't just be watching. Get a graph paper. Even if you don't have a graph paper, use a plate paper. Have equal intervals. As long as you can draw the curve and draw the line and do the appropriate interval, you might not get these answers that I'm showing you, but you might get just close to those figures, which will show you. And the more you also practice on your own, the better, because at the end of the day, if you get it in an exam, then you score the full marks. Okay. Thank you so much, so much for watching today's video with me, and I'll see you in the next.